The house had been empty for so long that even the road tried to forget it. Paint peeled like old scabs from its walls, and the windows were darkened not by dust, but by something thicker, something that swallowed light instead of reflecting it. Locals called it Harrow House, though no one remembered who Harrow was anymore. What they remembered was the rule: don't go inside after sunset. Evan didn't believe in rules that came from whispers. He stepped through the front door just as the sun slipped behind the trees. The door shut behind him with a sound too final to be an accident. Inside, the air was cold and wet, like breathing through a mouthful of soil. His flashlight beam crawled across the hallway, revealing family portraits lining the walls. Every face had its eyes scratched out, except one. A little girl stared back at him, her painted eyes glossy and black. As Evan watched, her lips slowly curled into a smile. He staggered back, knocking into a table. Something clattered to the floor. When he looked down, he saw a small music box. Its lid snapped open. Without being touched, it began to play. Slow, warped notes that echoed through the house. Footsteps answered the melody. They came from upstairs. Evan called out, his voice thin and shaking. "Hello?" The footsteps stopped. Then they began again, faster this time, running. The sound was wrong, too many feet hitting the floor, as if the house itself had decided to move. Doors slammed one by one along the hallway. The portraits rattled. Their scratched-out eyes began to bleed dark streaks down the walls. Evan ran for the front door. It wasn't there anymore. In its place was a long hallway that hadn't existed before, stretching far beyond what the house could possibly hold. At the end of it stood the little girl from the portrait. She was no longer painted. Her feet didn't touch the floor as she floated toward him, head tilted at an impossible angle. Her mouth opened wider and wider, splitting her face as a voice poured out, not a child's, but 100 overlapping whispers. "You're home now." The lights went out. The next morning, the house stood silent again. Neighbors swore they heard music drifting from inside, soft and cheerful, like a child's lullaby. And if you looked closely at the hallway portraits, you'd notice something new. A fresh face had been added. Its eyes were scratched out, but it was smiling.